Okay, we're doing a little bit of a risky thing here. Okay, because basically I'm racing the rain, more or less, to try to get this done. So basically, this is what I'm going off of for the design of this. But I've got about an hour before it starts raining, so I'm trying to get this in quick. So basically, I'm doing this with the pen, then I'm going to do it with the actual brush. Right, so the center point is about there, so we want this to run off this, and this is just a guide to come in with the foam brush in a minute. So it doesn't have to be exact because it's not going to look this clean when I come in here, but we'll just do that. Okay, and then get this one branch that's going to kind of wind off and go this way. All right, because I want to get this down because this really has to dry before I can hit it with the liquid clear. So that's going to come, and this is where it's going to really bend. So we need to have this really arced and coming over like that. And then same here, where this is going to come down. Of course, I'm going to fine tune all this, but I just got to get the general shape in here so that I can follow it. There we go. That's it. All right, so that's with this. So I don't need this anymore. Put that right there. All right, now we're going to come in with the actual foam brush, and we're going to punch in the black areas with this, and then I'm going to use this, what they're calling unbleached titanium, which is really just beige, to do the stuff on the bottom. Okay, here we go. So let's just dip this in here, dip that. It's not really even. That's the only problem with doing it this way, but that's okay. It's okay. Let's just bring it through. Follow that more or less. Use that to fan out and bring that down. Bring that through. There we go. That's not bad. Try to follow that line with the corner. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because I can clean it up with the pens later, but I want to get the basics in. See if I can lift a little of this off to use right there. Oh, perfect. Yep. Just try not to waste paint or have too much thick paint because that just means it takes longer to dry. So there we go. Again, I'll try to lift some of this off. Yeah, because literally I'm racing the rain here because it's supposed to rain now for several days. So if I can get this done now, it gives it plenty of time to dry before I hit it with the liquid clear in a week. And I'd rather give it a week to dry than just a couple days because some of this paint might be thick. And liquid clear will screw up acrylic if you hit it too early. So I can come in here, and then I can fine tune the pen work. I don't have to be outside for that. So I can actually do that indoors, and that's okay. But this stuff, it would get everywhere if I was inside, so I'm not doing this part inside. And yeah, I'm doing this a little bit differently than Bob Ross did because he did the big kind of long strokes going straight down. I'm not doing that. I'm doing this in pieces, but that's because I want that really twisty tree. So let's dip that in here, get that paint on there, move it around, just get the fine edge. No, that's okay. I don't mind a little knob in the tree. That's good. It's actually good. That's what trees typically have. Take some paint from there, brush that in, dip it again, punch in here. Yep, there we go. And then I'm going to use the loofah sponge, as one person called it, to do the brush on the bottom in that beige color. See how that looks. Yeah. That's the only problem with this tub of paint. It's really good for brushes. It's not so good for this. So that's going to be a little tricky, but we'll work that out when we get to it. Not going to worry about it right now. Just going to get this in. I'm sure there's a way to make it work once I get it evened out. That's the biggest problem. See, there's like a depression in it. So I probably will not get a jar of this again. I'll probably stick to the tube because then I can put it on the paint palette that's over there. And that would be a lot easier. But, you know, I'm not going to waste it. I got it. It's still usable. Just a little bit of effort to make it work, but that's okay. We'll get it there. Yeah, so see, we'll bring this down, and the other nice part about doing it this way is I don't have to worry about over thickening or under thickening with the brush. I'm kind of filling in the lines that I already drew. So it makes it a little easier on me as far as not making a mistake. Not that there are mistakes. As Bob's always says, just happy accidents, so it's okay. All right, let's get that painted in, but see how much more dynamic that tree is now compared to the other one, which don't get me wrong, I like the other one, but it's kind of a standard tree. It's kind of a standard painting, which is fine, but you know, I always got to sinister my stuff up somehow, and this is how I'm going to do it. So, okay, so there's our base tree, our big kind of gnarled, great word, gnarled tree. Yeah, let's brush that in there. Okay, so there's our center tree. Now I got to make the other ones where I'm just going to come down, but I'm going to make them very angular. Very, very specifically, not going to have straight trees in this. These trees have to have an angle to them. So let me dip into this paint, try to get the excess off. And you know, he actually did it this way. He did it from the base and went up, and that's how he managed to not have them be too thick as they got taller. So let's try that. And I just said I wasn't going to make these trees straight, and of course I made a straight tree. But that's okay. I can always bend other ones. So let's take this one, and let's see something like that. Well, that's going to bend up and come through and around and up. Still seems like the thickening got bad at the top, but we can fix that by coming down here and thickening that out. Draw some of that paint off. I think for me, it's easier to do the top and come down. I think that's just how I work better that way for myself. So let's do this. Just angle that. See, and I want to be very specifically angling, and then that gets lost in the tree, so I can thicken it down here. That's fine. See, it's missing in there. There we go. Of course, I can always fix these with the pens too. But see, I want to have a lot of angles in this. I'm sure you can hear the wind. It is very, very windy here because it is going to rain in not too long. So this is taking a bit of a risk. It's doing this in all this weather, but you know what? Why not? Try to lift that off. There we go. Now I'll fix the top of that. That's okay. Thicken that. Okay. Let's bring that up and off. There we go. See how much better it is with all the movement? Yeah, I really think that's the way to do this. Let's bleed some of that paint off. Okay. Yeah. Let's do, this is going to be a very angular one. Yeah, just bleed that through. Okay. And let's see, I need a couple more there. You know what? Maybe this is the way to do it. Maybe I'll just scoop a bunch of this, put it on here, and then dip this through to thin it. Maybe that was the way to do this to begin with. I should have just done it this way. Let's see how this looks. Okay, let's do one here. Oh, let's do it. Well, let's try it like how Bob Ross does it. Thick on the bottom and then thin it. Oh yeah, okay, that works. No, that does. I can do it that way. All right, let's see. I don't really need the paper anymore. I just need to look. Okay, let's see. More paint. Okay. Let's come up through here and bend through this. And come up and bend and twist. There we go. See, it's so much more life in that. It's angled. I'm not even doing anything but black branches either. It's all going to be black. It's all going to be black tree branches on this. All right, let's do just one that's really, really crazy this way. Like that. It's fine. Although you can't really see that when you get more paint. Need more paint. That's why there's not enough paint on it. Okay. Let's do another one right here. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Probably need a few more on this side. So let's again get a big glob of paint and then just thin it out by moving the brush back and forth, or the foam brush, I should say. Okay. Thick on the bottom, come up, twisty, twist in, twist up and off. Okay. And then let's do one right here. So again, we'll just come through here and we'll just let the brush kind of wander and not worry too much, because I can always fix these things with pens. So that's okay. Let's do one. Let's do one that kind of angles, ooh, through there. Actually, you know what? Maybe I don't need one there. Oh, just put my hand in paint. Oh well. Let's just get that paint off. Okay, let's see. Let's do one here. Thick, and it just comes right off that way. Good. Let's do one more that kind of angles through there. So again, you can't see that. Well, here's the base. There's the base. And we'll thin it as we kind of weave it right off. Okay. And let's do one more in that center area. Let's do one more right here and just bring it through, and again, just give it some real angle. Ooh, that's nice too. See that? That's like a broken branch. So that's going to work out. Okay. I feel like I need one more. Hold on. Let's get one more in there on this side. Let's just do one more. Kind of angles up and comes right off like that. Done. That's that. Okay. That's it for black. Just wipe that off. Okay, so let me seal this up. Don't need any more black. So let's see. Oh, hold on. Okay. All right. Let's wash this brush. Let's wash this brush off. Actually, yes. Yes. Let's wash it. No. Yes. Let's wash it. No. Let's not wash it. I might use it to mix. All right. Sponge. Sponge. Ooh, sunlight. Look at that. All right, that's good. Oh, see, blue skies. That's a good sign. So we'll probably be all right. Okay. Let's get some of this paint. Don't need much. I promise that was the paint, not me. Okay. Yeah, that paint is almost empty, but I probably am going to get more of that because this is a nice kind of neutrally color, and this is what's going to go on the bottom, right? So let's just dip in. Get that nice and textury. See that there? And then let's start popping this in, and this is going to be our shrubbery. And it's going to mix a little with the black. That was what I was kind of afraid of, but that's okay. I can just go over it. It's no problem. And we're just going to bring this in like that, and I can actually just shift to a different part of the sponge. If I need to, I could just use this side because, yeah, the black got caught there. So let's see here. Which a little bit of black's not bad. I mean, oh, paper. Don't go away, paper. Stay there. Stay there. I'm going to do much less over here. Just got to dab it enough to kind of lay this out. And you know what? Actually, that black might have helped me out with something. Because I was going to lay out... God, this brush does not have the kind of angle on it I was hoping for. I wonder why it's not as poppy as I thought it would be. Let's do a different angle. Let's try this side. It's not giving me the kind of like that. Like I want the shapes. So, okay. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Can work around that pretty easily. Just gotta go back in and go over it, but it'll work. Okay. Well, that explains what was coming in the mail. I knew something was coming and I didn't realize it was my keycaps. I got some keycaps from Keychron. Because with my new desk, I'll be able to see my keyboard a lot better. So I won't need the keys I've got now that are really made for having lights on them. But instead, I'll be actually able to see my keys, which will be nice. All right, let's just lay each of these layers in so I can see what I'm working with. Okay, and then the path is going to come through here. So let's just go ahead and lay that path through, and then it'll end there. Pardon me. We'll just dabble this in. Okay. I don't know how much higher I could move this thing up if I wanted to not much. So this is just kind of the angle I've got, but it's fine. We'll make it work. It looks patchy now, but it'll get there. Just keep going at it. Just go with a light touch here. Change the angle of things. Bring that out to about there. And then just keep filling this in. And then we'll come back to that patchy. But that's actually not bad at all, because that's the path. So we'll keep going here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's better. Just gotta go with a light touch. And I'm gonna try to do some taller pieces like that, see? So it actually looks like plant life. Because plant life has different height to it. And on my other ones, I kind of had them all about the same flat angle. So we're gonna fix that too. And we're gonna have some of it coming out like that, see? And it'll be at different angles. And then I'm gonna come in with a darker color to kind of add some weight to it. But I can actually use this corner for the darker color and then switch back here for the lighter color. So this will actually work out pretty well. Let's get some more height on that other one. Let me try this. Try just bringing that out. All right, let's see what this looks like if I angle it. Yeah, see? Get a really tall bit there. And what I'm just trying to do is, again, create some organic shapes to it. So it doesn't just look like paint, you know, off a sponge. See how much nicer it is with that kind of different height to it? Much better. But we have a little bit of repetition in here, so let's fix that. Because we don't want them to all look exactly the same. Want some variation there. Right? Otherwise it looks like a machine did it. And a machine most certainly is not doing this. I'm doing this. Right. Perfect. Now we'll do a little bit of this coming out this way. And that's going to form that. Again, a little bit there. All right, now we'll go to the dark side. Let's do one more layer. Oh, no, that's fine. Actually, that's okay. That's okay. There we go. Okay. Now, dark side. So we're going to take a little bit of this, mix it into a little bit of that, darken that out. All right. Now we'll pop this in here. And it's not going to be a hugely different color, but it is different enough that it's going to give it a little bit of weight. Or sorry, dimension, not weight. Weight is not what I'm talking about. Try like layering, like sizing. See, that's too splotchy, so we're gonna have to fix that. So let's scoop that. Let's get into that black. Really kind of darken that out. Really try to keep the shapes more organic. That's better. Just kind of dot them through, and I'm gonna come over this with a lighter color in a minute. Just trying to make really light edges here for where the path is going to be. Try to push it up a bit. Okay. Same thing. Pull a little bit more of this. Pop it into this. Let's see what we get here. Oh yeah. Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to angle it so you can see what I'm doing. All right, just filling in these spaces with a little bit of like a grayish color. And see, this is just enough off from the white that the color should pick up down here when I do the clear. It should look a little bit different without having to then come in here with a darker color. It'll make it look different even if I use the same color all the way through. That's the goal. We'll see if it actually works, but that's the goal. Okay, now I'm gonna come in with, let me think about this. Let's do a little bit of this. Just a touch of that. Let's see if we can get a nice neutral. Okay, hold on. Oh yeah, that's better. That's kind of a midpoint color. It's not a huge difference, but I wasn't going for a huge difference. Just something to kind of lay in some, you know, shading. And then I'm going to hit it with the white highlights now, along here and along there, and then that's it. And then we're done. So now we need a lot of heavy of this color, and let's see how we're going to do this. Let's try it from a different angle, and let's see how this looks. Yeah, see? Much better. And turn it. Just kind of do quick hits on it. And then this will blend it in a little bit. Just tapping in, tapping in, tapping in. See, it's automatically getting a little bit darker as I'm going along, which is perfect. So now you have a second ridge again, where it's a little light, but so you have some dark and some light. And we're going to do the same thing right here. So load that thing up, really load it, and lightly start bringing it in, and just tap it a little bit up. That's okay, I like that actually. That's good. It looks like a little bit of sprig of something that's popping up. Turn the brush a bit to give it a little bit of a different feel, and then lightly punch into the mid area to kind of break that up a little bit so it's not just straight light to dark. Right. Man, I think that's it. I think that's it for this. Yeah, I think that's as much as I want to do with this. Okay. Nope, that's it. This was meant to be simple, and it is. So now I just need to wash my stuff, but that's really it. So you're seeing it. That's what it's going to be. And then once this dries, I'm going to come in with the pens, do the fine detail. Probably tomorrow. I'll give this 24 hours. Then I can come in with the pens. Then I'm going to give it a full week, and then I'm going to hit it with the liquid clear and the color. But I want this whole thing to dry for a week, especially because there's really thick parts. I don't know if you can see that really well. That's really thick. There's thick bits. And then once I come in with the pens, there's still some thick black up here. I'll clean all that up, give it nice clean edges, do a lot of branch work, which I can do inside if it's raining tomorrow, so that's no problem. But this is going to give it 24 hours to dry, and then I can come in and really start punching into this thing. Yeah, but it looks good. Looks good. So let me make sure you can see that. I'm sure you can from this far back. I would assume you can see it, but let's just make sure. Hold on, it's reconnecting. I mean, this isn't a very long recording, and tomorrow's probably, well, tomorrow's might be longer. Oh, here we go. Angle down. There we go. There you go. Yeah, see? Doesn't take long at all. Really just two colors. Carbon black, which I really like carbon black, and unbleached titanium acrylic. So there you have it, everybody. See you next time. Okay, everybody, here we go. So this is our image that we're going to be doing today. Step back a little bit. Which is the autumn version of the trees. Now, I have a selection of colors here, but I think what I'm going to do, because I'm going to lay down a transparency layer, is I think I'm going to basically go with these three. So, semi-transparent, transparent, which is basically most of it in orange. I think I'm going to do the center point. So basically, okay, just an idea of this. Orange is going to be everything. Up here, all orange, and then yellow in this area. Like a little bit of this yellow, probably on the same brush, just mixed in here. Down here, I'm going to hit it with this yellow oxide to give it a little bit of a darker color. And then come into it with like white and red. Like white, probably white and maybe a little bit of this perylene red, and see what that looks like. There's also this yellow, this Naples yellow, which is a pretty transparent yellow, but I don't know if I'm going to use this. I really don't know. But I could use this and white mixed together. I don't know. But I kind of want to see, well, all right, let's start with this. Transparent orange, first off. And that's what we're going to do the most of this with. Again, just going to come in here, put all this in here, and then this is going to be the other colors. And then this Hansa yellow light will go in the center where the light's going to be. But that won't be the light. That's just going to be a lighter color. All right, here we go. So, transparent orange, which is the first time I've used this one, I think. But since it's transparent, and I did want to use primarily oranges and reds, let's see what we get. Okay. Brush is good. Okay, here we go. We're just going to load this up. Right? And we're just going to do the whole thing. Oh yeah, see that? Right away. That's a nice orange. Obviously, I'm going to need a lot more paint. But this will work. Let's give it that orange. Right. Oh yeah, I mean, look at that. That's already a nice autumn color just by itself. But yeah, I'm obviously going to need a lot more. Try to pick some up off of here. But that's actually good though, because that gives it a strong color in the corner. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what I can get out of this. Try not to waste too much paint. I mean, this is going to be a pretty, color-wise, a pretty easy one as far as, what's the word for it, with how much I'm going to, or how many different colors I'm going to use, which is not a lot. I'm going to be doing some painting mixing too. But that's for another painting, because I've realized that that triangle painting I liked, it's just the colors are way too muted for what I want. So I'm gonna have to punch some colors in there, but I gotta mix some colors and test out a little bit first what I want. All right, yeah, let's heavy that in. Bring that through. There we go. Okay, let's bring that across so we don't miss the top and the sides. Yep, and we'll just kind of work it in like this. By the way, I don't know if you can tell, I've redone these down here, these flat bars with rubberized pieces. And man, it is so much better now as far as stability for the canvas. It's really, really good as far as holding that stuff. And we'll just work this up to meet into that. Like that. And again, it doesn't matter if a little bit gets in there like that, that's okay. But I don't want to go too heavy with the orange down there. I want that to have its own color, really. And we'll work that in there. And see, I'm trying to keep it lighter as it gets to this part. So I'm starting down here, working my way up, just so it kind of radiates a little bit by itself. And of course, I'm going to hit that with yellow too, but do that. We'll just pop that there. Start it down here. Try to be careful around the foliage so I don't do too much of the orange in there. Again, it doesn't really matter, but I want that to have its own color. Okay, all right. And the light shafts are going to really be here. I'm going to do most of the light. Light's going to be here. and it's going to come this way, and this way, and this way. And that's the idea. So the light is going to really be one side. So, okay, let's see. A little more orange. Don't need a ton. And in fact, I'm going to kind of hide it inside the tree so that you don't see the blotches of it too much. Bring it in. Yep. Okay. Move that in there. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay. A little bit there. We'll bring some in here. I'm going to need a little more for this area. And then that should do for this color. Just kind of wash it around here. More or less. Yep. There we go. All right, so a little more, and I think we'll be good. A little more. We'll just bring this up. Yep, I'm trying to go light here. I don't want to overpower it. So a little bit more, and that'll take care of that. But you can already see it does definitely have that kind of winter, autumn feeling to it. Just spread that out a little bit. Okay, so I need a little bit more kind of in here, I think. Which I might be able to pull it, maybe. And not enough. Need a little more. Just a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, just a bit on the brush. I don't need too much. Just to kind of, yeah, there we go. Just to make sure the color is not necessarily even, but distributed. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll work. I think that's enough. Maybe a little bit more in a couple spots. Let's just dab this just a bit. Again, I want to be careful not to go too heavy, but I also want the color to be everywhere. Okay. I want it to be really clear when you see this one next to the other one that they're very, very different. So, okay, that's good. Now let's go. Let's go. We did good with. So again, that was transparent orange. Let's go with the semi-transparent yellow, and that's really going to be right in here, just radiating out a bit. Not a lot, just a little, but I'm not going to bother cleaning the brush. Just a tad of that, and we'll just thin that out. See, I'm just dabbing it here. That's what I'm doing. Just dabbing it here so it thins it, but a little bit on the corner. Basically in here. And that's fine because that's where the white's going to go anyway. And then we'll just fan this out. Geez, you can't really even see it, but that's okay because the white will pick it up. So actually that works out. The white will grab that. So when I put the white here, it's going to pick that up. Just fan that out a little bit. Not too much though, so that's actually fine. All right, so that's all we need of the yellow. So that's the Hansa yellow. Now for the bottom, transparent yellow oxide, darker. Hopefully, ooh, wow, that's very dark. That might be, man, that might be too dark. Let me take a look at that. That's looking more like a brown than a yellow. Let's see. Oh, you know what? Actually, that might be okay. Let's see. Let's mix these. Let's see what we get here. I'm going to mix these, the Hansa in that together a little bit, and that'll come down here. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's good. That's okay. Yeah, see, it's just a different color temperature. So that'll work. Yeah, so if I don't go too heavy with that, I think that'll be okay. But it's a little bit different. Just enough, but you still know what it is. And we'll just put some of that in here. We'll see. We might come over that with, I don't know, I gotta figure that out. Let me see, hold on. I think I need a little bit more of the Hansa yellow to go with that. Just put a bit there. So I'm just gonna mix these together on the brush pretty much. 50-50 really. Nice 50-50 on that. Yeah, something like that. Yep. Okay. And we'll just fan that to there. Okay. I'm gonna definitely need more. Go across the bottom. And I might hit, I gotta figure out what I want to do as far as what's gonna go over each of these, but I'll get to that. Don't have to figure that out right this second. Right now I'm just getting the color in so that we have our base colors in here. Right, and I may not need to do much with this. We'll see. As far as what I put color-wise over it. Might be pretty easy. Let me just pick that up. Move that down. Okay, let's get those outer edges. Bring it out into there. See, you could be really harsh with this as far as the brush goes. Definitely need more for that though. So again, we're going to use the Hansa yellow, or Hansa yellow. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced. Hansa yellow and transparent yellow. Okay, transparent yellow. Okay, mix those together. Let's see here. Okay, and no, it's only started. Let's see. Up there. Okay, a little more. Bag that there. Okay. Put that in here. Okay, pick up a little more of this. And just move that out. And so I need just a little more, and that should take care of, actually maybe I can pick it up from here. Let's see. Might be able to get it. There's a little bit of paint left. So I don't need a ton. And again, I'm trying not to waste paint if I don't have to. Oh yeah, that'll work. There we go. Okay, so that's basic colors. Okay. Love you. There we go. Okay, so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work some of that in here, even though I'm probably not going to come in here with anything. Just even that out a little bit, sweep that through. Okay, so now we have our basic colors. Got that transparent orange and the kind of yellow, the oxide enhance it down here. But basically it's an orange-yellow coloring, right? So now, and again, that was transparent orange, Hansa yellow, and transparent's transparent, semi-transparent, and this is transparent fully. It actually, I don't know if you can read it right there, it shows transparent. See, some of these will say semi, but not all tubes have this listed like that. That's why I'm writing on it with marker to make sure for the ones that don't. Like this doesn't say, but I looked it up. Alzarian Crimson is transparent. So now, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to come in with, let's see, let me think about this. Only thing I don't have is a lot of transparent yellows. I have a lot of opaque yellows, but I don't have a lot of transparent yellows. So I'm thinking I might use this light yellow for the bottom, but we'll see. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's stick with the big part, the top, because that's the important bit right now. So for that, I'm trying to think what I want to do here. I'm trying to remember what these look like exactly. I definitely want to do another transparent before I hit it with the white. Not this. This is very pink. I'm going to leave that out. So it's either brown, pink. I don't think I want to do naphthol red. I think I'm going to go with this perylene red. Let's try this. And this is just going to be in the corners, really, so I don't need much. Let's just get some of that on here. Okay, just a little bit for the edges here. And it should, I just do it lightly, shouldn't, yeah, see? Oh yeah, that's fine. That's a nice dark orange that it's forming there. Or a deeper orange, I should say. Okay, yep, that's what I want. That's a good red for this. So let's pick up a little more. Because honestly, if I only did it in that corner, you'd never really see it. But see there? Got that nice kind of shading happening where it's a little bit darker and it gives it like a richer orange color in those corners. And I'm just going to work it kind of inwards. But again, I haven't cleaned the brush because really, if it didn't work, I wanted to be able to kind of brush it out. But that's good. It's not heavy. It's not a really bold color, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be. It can be more subtle and just kind of working in. Because it should be kind of a deep color, but I don't want it to be overpowering. There we go. So we'll just wash that in. We'll go across. We'll do a little bit across the top, just for the edges. A little bit more there. We'll just kind of run that across the top, just to shade that in. There we go. See, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot. Work it down. And then probably doing the same thing kind of around the outside, just leaving this bright, because you can already see there's a brightness there without even the white being in there yet. And that's the goal. That's what we're looking for, is just to kind of ring the whole thing. Just a little bit there, not a lot. And then have this coming out. Like that. See, I'm being cautious. I don't want to overdo it. So that's fine there. Do a little more. So we get this. That's probably the last of the color. Let's pop that in there. Come up a little bit. And then we'll work this in and out. That, and see, it's not much, it's just a little bit, but it gives it that like a vignette, very, very light vignette. Now what are we going to do down here? Let's think about this. That was what did I use there? That was Perylene red. Okay, so you know what I may do for the bottom? I may go with the classic Alizarian Crimson. I'm wondering about using this on that bottom, because this is kind of a classic color, transparent. Oop, well, okay, I didn't really mean to squeeze that much out, but you know what? I'll probably need a bunch. But let's try this for the bottom. Let's get a little bit. Very, very light amount. That's a punchy red, though. Let's just start down here. Let's see what we get. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. See that? Got a nice orange happening there too. Yeah, but it's different than this. It's just different enough. So that's good. Let's grab more of that. It started off, it looked really, really strong, but then it lightened up. And that's what I was hoping. I didn't really know that was gonna happen, but I was hoping it would, and it did. So now we'll just work this in, and that gives these nice. And what I may do is I may come in with the pen later, the acrylic pen, once this all dries, and frost the tips of these with white, but not with this. I don't want to do it with the brush. I want to do it with the pens. So again, let's just punch some of this in here and then work it in. Just work up to even this out so it's not as heavy. Yep. Or I may even come in with an orange brush. I don't know, I'll figure that out. I'll do some testing with that before I actually put it on. I mean, it's going to have to dry for 2 weeks anyway before I even touch it with acrylic. So I have time to figure that part out. Move that in. Move that in. There we are. Okay. Yep. See, now it's less yellow. Now it blends in more with this, but it's got its own color to it, which is what I was going for. That's what I wanted. I wanted this to have its own color to it. That's good. That fortunately, again, I'm not going to pretend I planned this stuff, guys. I'm really not. If I were to tell you that, I'd be a massive liar. I really didn't know if it was going to work, but fortunately, it is. Just blend that out a little bit so it lightens up. Looks really heavy when it goes on. You just blend it out. It's not a big deal. Right? Okay. Just kind of work it up a little bit in here because I need that to be there too, but I'm just pushing the brush there, make that easy. Yep. Okay. A little bit more. Might need a little bit more than I have, but we'll just kind of fan it through here. And then we'll start evening it out. See how red it looks at first? But then as you spread it around, because it's transparent, the color evens out. And it becomes more of that orange as it, you know, you have to blend it, but it will become more of a orangey the more you work on it. And you can see where there's like, when there's pockets, you just go in heavy with the brush and it'll even itself out. So see, it's fine. And then a little bit more. And this actually, I managed to measure that unintentionally really well. See, just sprinkle this through. Come in, work the brush on it, and it will pick up the other color too. And then you'll just move it through. And then you just kind of go and look for there's a couple light spots, so I'll clean those up. But see, that has a different orange than this does. So it feels the same, but it's not the same. So that is what I was going for. And amazingly, it worked. A little bit more to clean up those kind of dead areas. I did not put liquid clear on this. I'm just using the transparents, and I'm going to go over it. The other one I did liquid clear, but I really realized I don't need it. I was watching a couple of Bob Ross videos, and there's only specific cases where he's using liquid clear, so to avoid doing too much, I didn't use it. Yeah, that's good. And see what I mean is I'll come in with the acrylic pen when this dries and do these top ends with the pen. But that overall is the basic idea. Yep. Okay, let's clean this brush, right? Oh, hold on. Don't like having those edges be white. Let's clean that up. Just give it a nice toning here. I may end up painting the edges black anyway, but just to be on the completionist side, we'll do that. Okay. Okay, okay. All right. Yep, pretty good. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do is clean the brush, clean this big brush. Try not to spill this, which I've done many, many times. See, I usually use the bigger one, but because I'm using fewer colors and I'm not cleaning the brush in between, I didn't want to use up a bunch of that thinner unnecessarily, so I'm using the smaller jar for this. Okay. Oh, no, still some on there. Didn't get it off. Hold on, I can see it on there. If you can see a lot of the color when you kind of smack the brush to clean it, then you probably still have too much of it in there, which there is a lot of color in here, so I'm not surprised. Let's try that again. Much better. Barely any color that time. Okay. So let's clean that or dry it. Let's go a circle. There we are. Not that I'm going to be using this brush again. I don't think. Yeah, because I'm not, well, maybe. We'll see. Okay. I probably won't, though, because I have another 2-inch. So I really don't need to use it again. Okay. I want to see. I don't want to use pure white. I could, but I'm not going to. Sun's going to be here. The main sight source is going to be, oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll put it right here. And then most of the light is going to be coming this way. So this, like it's coming through there. Actually, hold on. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So I think what I'm going to do, use the Alizarin Crimson. So Alizarin Crimson is what I went over down here. So essentially, if you're caring about this, if you were ever to try to do the same thing, basically, transparent orange and Hansa yellow are the top end, And then transparent yellow oxide and alizarin crimson are the shrubbery on the bottom. So, okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do for the light source is I think I'm going to mix a little of this Naples yellow, which looks pretty light, to be honest. It looks like a light color anyway. We're going to mix that with the old reliable super titanium white. So let's see how this looks. I'm just going to put a little here. Yeah, that's pretty light. So that shouldn't overpower the white too much. And then we'll put the white in here. And we'll hit that with the, we're going to use the 1-inch landscape. Yeah, that's what we'll use for this. Okay. So a lot of white. I think this white is firmed up way too much. I mean, this is an old tube of paint, but that seems way too firm. And I've had it inside. I haven't left it out, so it should have warmed up. That was inside in the warmth. So the fact that it's still that stiff makes me think it's probably... You know what? Let me use the smaller one. There's my smaller knife to mix this. Hold on. Move these things. There. Is that yeah, it's a small one. Nope, that's a big one too. Jeez. Of course I found the two big ones. Where's the little knife? There it is. Too many things. Okay, small knife. Let's grab that yellow. Let's mix that together. Yeah, see, that's... It's not white. It's not pure white, but it's not a heavy yellow either. Now that's probably not enough for what I have to do. God, that paint seems really firm too. It just seems really, really firm. But, all right. Brush time. Let's grab that. All right, and light source is right here. I'm just going to kind of work around and work out. And this will be our light source, and then I'm going to smooth this all out. But for now, we're just establishing the kind of cloud, I guess you'd call it, around it as it radiates out. Yeah, see, because I feel like it shouldn't be picking that much that up, but that's okay. It's not a big deal because it should be strong. I'm gonna fan that out as I get there. So again, starting in the center with the brightest color and just working outwards really easily to again just create a impression of it. And I may put some actual white in the center. I don't think so. I think I'm going to stick with something like this. Just kind of want to circle that out and just slowly bring that out like that. A little more. A little more. It's good, but I need a little more. Right. And then let's punch that in there. Just fan that around and you just work out like this. Now this is not how Bob Ross does it, but that's how I'm doing it. He does more of the crisscross, but I like doing it this way. So we'll just do that coming out, right? Actually, I like that a lot as is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little cad yellow, just a bit of that. Don't need much. I'm going to mix that in to really punch that yellow color in. So we'll just mix this right on the brush with the color I already had. Probably get some off of there too, yeah. Do a little bit of that, okay. And then let's go in here. You can't even really see the yellow. I was trying to get more yellow than that. All right, that's okay. That's all right. Okay, just swirl that color out. And just go lighter and lighter as you get to the edges. And then come on back in. And there we go. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to take a different brush. Let's clean this one. Clean this brush off. I'm going to take a dry brush and I'm going to blend that out. All right. Now the blending part is going to be tricky because I'm going to blend in the opposite direction than usual, because I don't want to risk pulling the white out to the outside. So dry this brush off. I don't think I'll need it again, but you never know. So I'm going to take, same brush. So this is also a 1-inch landscape, but a dry, clean one. And I'm going to start on the outside and move inwards and just kind of try to soften these lines a bit. But I'm starting on the outside because I'm afraid if I start from the inside, I'm going to end up pulling the white out, and I want to keep the white in the center. Yeah, those lines I can't do anything about. Those are lines from the actual pens, so, and the acrylic brush, so I can't really do much about that, but that's okay. You see what I mean about blending inwards with this. I'm not going to touch the center too much. The center's okay, but I'm just gonna do this really lightly, but see, there's no color on it really, so it nice and softens that out. And then I can do things like this and just kind of softly bring the line. Not that you're going to see that all that much, but it's there. So there's your light work, and just kind of stuff like this. See how much that softened that? But I didn't touch the inside. I mean, I can kind of lightly come in here and brush it around a little bit, but I don't mind that circular look. It's kind of interesting. It wasn't really intentional, but I don't mind it. But I think I'm just going to leave that alone. All right, so there's the light, and there's our light source. All right, so we'll leave that. Clean this. Now this is the interesting bit here, what's coming up. And I really don't quite know if this is going to work the way I think it will, but there's only one way to find out, right? There's only one method to try something, and that's to try it. So this is going to be an attempt in 2 parts. So clean this brush. Won't need this again, I don't think. What I am going to need is more of the Naples yellow, just a bit. There we go. So again, this is a opaque Naples yellow and big white, classic white. I say big white because it's a giant. It's a giant tube of it. There we go. Let's wipe that off. I'm gonna be taking a shower after this anyway, so who cares? All right. So punch a bunch of that white. God, see, that's what I mean. Should not be this hard to get this out. Really shouldn't. So I think this paint may have seized on me. Ugh. See, I mean, it's just that's way, way too firm. It should not be like that. Really shouldn't be that hard. Huh. Yeah, it just feels like clay. Yeah. Whereas that paint doesn't. So maybe... Huh. Well, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll mix it up. It'll be alright. It'll be fine. For something like this, it's not a big deal, but I probably do have to get a new... I think I have to get a new tube of titanium white. I think that titanium white is shot. It just feels way, way too firm inside the tube for what I'm... The other paints don't feel like that. Actually, let me see. Where's my titanium black? I'm curious. If I got a titanium black... Yeah, this is much looser. Like, yeah. I think that white's shot. It's okay for this, but yeah, it should not be that. It's way too hard. Okay. Anyway, what we're gonna do is, where's the big fan brush? Big fan brush. Okay. All right. Here's the trick. Take fan brush. Load it up. We're gonna make our light beams like we've done in the other one. So light beam like that. Light beam like that. See where it's like it's like it's hard to even get the color to come off it, which it really shouldn't be. And this is just me kind of getting angles in place. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. Okay, and then one more coming down straight. All right, now, before I do anything else, I'm going to take the opal brush. We'll see how this works. And we're going to really try to fan this out. God, I think I need more paint. I don't think it's going to work. I think I need way more of this than I've got. See, it's not, like, the paint's not even like spreading properly. It feels like it should be way easier to spread that paint out. So I think I have a problem with my paint here, which, I mean, it's fine. I can still do the painting, but it's not quite what I'm going for. Okay, let me try something. Let's take the actual, do I want to use this? Hold on. I'm going to leave that alone because that's a blending brush. Let me take this and see if I can do something like this. Okay, here, that's better. Because see, what I'm trying to do is create these like curtains of light. I don't know how else to describe it. Because you look at a lot of these, if you look at actual photographs of how the light comes out, it's not just rays like that. It's like I saw these really nice photos of these big sheets of light. And that's what I'd like to try to create here, is these kind of sheets. So let's see. I've either just ruined this or it's going to work. We'll see. No way to know. All right. So then if I come in here and I blend this down. So we'll blend that. We got to blend that really well. And also give it that directional thing, right? So we do something like that. Same thing here. We just need to blend this out. And then I'm going to give it a hard edge. The hard edge of the light's going to come from the... actually, I think that is working. The hard edge is going to come from the fan brush. Okay, maybe I'll do that first and then blend. Blend it along there. Blend it more. It doesn't look terrible. I think the problem is the paint's too stiff. And like I said, I brought the paint in last night and let it sit overnight in the house. So I know it's not because it's been sitting out in the cold. I mean, it's 55 degrees, but it didn't sit out in the 55 degree. So the only issue is some of it didn't blend properly, but I think we'll be okay. Let me see here. Let me see here. I don't know how quite I would do this. You know what? Rather than take the chance, I'm going to do this. See, this is going to be the hard edges of those light sheets. It's going to come from the fan brush. And just go along the top edge of those sheets, and then I'll blend those out. Okay, more. And then see, that other light is going to be underneath it, basically. More or less, that's the idea. Now, whether it's actually going to work or not is a tougher thing to say. We're going to try it. Okay. And then this I'm going to blend like I normally would. Which is to say, with this, we'll just come in and we'll just lightly kind of pull that like that. See, and that creates that light effect. And see, that's what I was trying to kind of echo in the other parts of it. But you know what? It did work, more or less. It worked. It's working. It's not quite how I envisioned it, so I may have to practice with that to get that exactly right, but it's working enough. It's working enough. So I'll just kind of stretch that out. Yep. Okay. Yeah, see, I wanted more of the kind of the mist in here, like again, like a sheet of white. But I kind of am getting that, but not like I had it in mind. But it is sort of there. Okay, that's kind of doing it. See how that does it, where it's a little bit fuzzy in there? And that's where in a lot of these pictures of light, you see that it's not just the beams, it's this kind of curtain of blurred light underneath. It's not bad. Again, it's not exactly what I had in mind, but that's okay. It's still getting the point across. I mean, it still looks like a light source, so it still is working. Let me see if I can do a little bit of a harder edge on those. Try to do this without killing anything. Just do this real easy. Yeah, something like that. Just barely touching the top of that. Which is not easy, but it can be done. Yep, okay. Alright, let me get a little more here. It's kind of working. It's just, I got to be really careful with it because it's be so easy to destroy this. I mean, it would be very easy to do this too much. Alright, let me grab the other. And again, let's just do some light like that. That one probably needs to be redone. You can barely even see what I did. That one's too light. That one's okay. That one's okay. Those are all right. That one's okay. It's not terrible. It's not quite what I had in mind, but it's not terrible. It's got the autumn feel. That's there. But, man, I really wish I could have gotten this effect better. I might warm to it as it dries. It might work better for me. I just feel like I didn't quite get it where I wanted it. Not quite. Which is okay. That's going to happen. Not bad. It still has that autumn feel. I like the angle of the trees. All that stuff works. This looks good with a different color. And I'm going to come in and punch that up. So overall, it's good. Just wish I could have gotten that light, whatever, I don't know how to describe the effect, but the light curtain thing better. But let me go in. I just want to sharpen these edges with the actual, I mean, I could use the palette knife, but I feel like that might not work. Palette knife and I don't always get along well when it comes to the actual paint on the canvas. See, just subtle. Just little bits of the light dancing through there. Load the brush again. Just like little light particles or light particulate kind of just coming off there. See, like that? Like how that looks. It's okay, I'm gonna leave that chunk there and not worry about it. I need more. That's good though. That'll look all right. Well, actually, let me flatten that brush a little more. Let me just bring it through the paint more. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. See, like that. Like that. And I'm going to really lightly just blend that just a little. Just a little. Oh, I put my hand right on it. Just real light. I don't want to get rid of it too much. I'll kind of bring it through. Just enough. That has that chunk of paint, so I'm going to do that last in case it really bumps up. Yeah, see? That's what I thought it might do, but it's okay. It's actually fine. Yeah, see? It's not bad. It's all right. Like I said, I don't quite know how to do the effect I want to do, but anyway. Okay. Well, that's... Sorry, I'm over here. That is the main painting. So that was the main goal for today. So I'm just looking at it. Yeah, I'm gonna come in and do like something in here with the actual acrylic pens, but this has to dry first. But otherwise, the goal was to have this be the counterpart to the other painting, which was much more winter feeling and colder. This is much warmer, autumn, kind of fallish, like transitioning from summer to fall, kind of. And that's what I was going for. So again, I kind of wish the light beams, the light curtain thing worked better, but I have a feeling I have to just practice that and I can probably get it. But you know what? The overall effect is what I wanted. So there it is. And yeah, okay. Well, there you go.